So I know that you guys talked last year about the participles. I know that you guys did some stuff with the present perfect and the past perfect, which is the verb haber and then ido, ado and ido. So that was stuff like bailado, I have danced, or has leído, you have read. So today we're just talking about the participle itself and then pairing it with the verb estar. A lot of the adjectives that you already know are actually a form of the past participle. So a lot of the times you're going to see adjectives like decorado, for example here, or conocido, or preferido. And all of those are actually the past participle of their original verb, which is decorar, conocer, preferir. You see a lot of these probably all the time. You just probably don't realize it. But anytime you have ADO, you have an AR verb and you want to create the participle, you take off the AR and add ADO. And if you have an ER or IR, you drop those and add IDO to the end of it. Now, past participles are a lot of the times used with estar to describe conditions, like it says here, to describe conditions that are a result of the past or previous action. So, for example, this is like saying somebody is, for example, seated, like we had before. In vocab 2A, we had the words sentado and parado. And when you use those with the verb estar, they're going to agree with the thing that they're talking about. So, for example, you can see up here, el pintor está sentado, because pintor is masculine and singular. And next to it, you can see las paredes estaban pintadas, because that's feminine and plural. Now, we're using this with estar, which means to be adjectived, kind of. So, for example, está sentado. El pintor está sentado. The painter is seated. So, when we use this, we're going to use a form of estar, which in the present is estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están. And then you're going to use the past participle plus ado or ido to describe something that has happened as a result of a previous action. So, you could say estamos separados, we are separated. Or ella está casada, she is married. You also can talk about it in the past. And with this, we use the imperfect subjunctive, just the imperfect, and that's estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estabais, and estaban. And then the same thing, you add it with ado or ido. So now you can say, for example, you could say, mis padres estaban casados. My parents were married. Or, el pintor estaba parado. The painter was standing. So this is to talk about, you could talk about this now, you could talk about it in present, or you could talk about it in past. El pintor estaba sentado, he is seated. Mis padres estaban casados. They were married. Now remember that, of course, like everything else in Spanish, there are irregulars right here. This is a list of them. Okay, we've got abierto, roto, puesto, hecho, dicho, visto, resuelto, muerto, escrito, envuelto. So muerto is going to be one that you probably see a lot, and so is visto. Okay, because if you have ever paid attention to any kind of town names, like in California, you know that there's towns like Chula Vista or Vista del Mar, view of the sea. And this is just the participle without the estar. Muerto is something that you'll probably see a lot. Él está muerto, he is dead. That's a participle. And remember that the participle agrees with whatever its whatever it's modifying, whatever the thing is, whatever the subject is. So yeah, so participle, anytime you hear the word participle, you know that it's going to be the ito or ado. It's going to be, participle is part of a word, or part of a conjugation or a compound set of verbs. So we're going to do that tonight or for Monday when you come back. Why don't you try to just learn these irregulars and make sure that you have those down, because that's probably the hardest part of this all. And then we're going to do some practice with it Monday when you guys all return.